Shout out to Quid for sponsoring this update. Quid's a new app for all you collectors out there that lets you collect and trade stickers, cards, Funko Pop figures, all for free on your phone, with collections for Game of Thrones, Rick and Morty, and they just launched a Marvel collection too. Check it out and start collecting for free. Just download the Quid app on iPhone and Android by clicking the link in the description. Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley. Remember how Nintendo really loves gameplay videos on YouTube and Twitch? Yeah, it looks like they're up to the old tricks all over again when it comes to gaming videos, especially on YouTube, because now they seem to be banning live streaming. Members of Nintendo's Creator Club reported this morning that Nintendo sent out an email detailing Nintendo's updated user guide, which now states that live streaming falls outside the program. The email says, this means you cannot broadcast content on YouTube live from the account you have registered to the Nintendo Creators Program. Nintendo's also updated the rules on their website, saying you can only broadcast on a channel not affiliated with the program, so you either create a second channel or unsubscribe from the program if you want to do any kind of live streaming. For creators, this is another rough move from Nintendo. They've been a bit heavy-handed with how they handle YouTube content in the past. They're very careful, they feel very protective of their gameplay videos, so it's, I guess, not that surprising, but it does suck for those who've built up a huge Nintendo base of content and now can't live stream. How well is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds doing? Besides taking over top viewed games on Twitch and top played games on Steam, you know, the basics. So in addition to being those enormous milestones, Battlegrounds is apparently making so much money for Bluehole that it's now being spun off to its own company. Bluehole announced today that the PUBG division is now PUBG Corporation, which will allow them to act with more independence and efficiency. They've also said they'll be opening up additional branches in Europe and Japan to go along with their American outfit. And on top of all that, after those rumors that Chinese gaming giant Tencent was interested in the company, which were promptly denied by Bluehole, it looks like Tencent has now taken up a 5% stake in the PUBG creator. They're apparently interested in acquiring much more of the company along with a publishing deal, but Bluehole is pushing back. Both business developments shouldn't be a huge surprise, really, given how much success Battlegrounds has been seeing this year. It's only natural others are going to want a piece of that pie. But it is impressive to see it be so successful it became its own company. EA and DICE have given us another sweet glimpse of Battlefront 2 story mode, this time in the form of one of the game's cutscenes. The full scene shows protagonist Iden Versio learning of the death of the Emperor from her father, Admiral Versio. That message is delivered by a special Imperial messenger droid who bears the face of the Emperor and initiates Operation Cinder, an unusual operation to stamp out hope and resistance, just in case you weren't sure if they were the bad guys. All this looks to kickstart Iden's journey through the single-player campaign, so a bit of an intro. It would have been nice to see some gameplay too, but hey, at this point we'll take any shots of the single-player we can get. September has already brought us a number of fall releases. It's actually been a pretty busy month, and the end of the month has brought us even more. One of those that came out yesterday was Total War Warhammer 2, which dropped to very positive ratings from critics. The turn-based strategy game is currently sitting at an 86 on both Metacritic and OpenCritic, at least at the time of writing. That's subject to change as more reviews hit. The consensus among reviewers seems to be that the game's story is excellent and it totally improves on everything the first game delivered. In fact, some are calling it the new high benchmark for creative assembly and the Total War series as a whole, which is a pretty solid praise. However, some did note there are a couple problems with the game's AI and economy. In GameSpot's 9 out of 10 review, they wrote, at its heart, there's still the marriage of Total War's big-scale strategy and Warhammer's precise tactical play. But through 1,000 tiny tweaks, they've refined the experience into one of the most intriguing and exciting strategy games ever. And in other Total War Warhammer 2 news, it's now pretty much the fastest de novo game ever cracked. The DRM protection lasted 10 hours. Is this hashtag de novo is over party or what? Because that's not very long, especially for the DRM that was supposed to be the new chosen one. Another long-awaited title out today is the cartoony throwback platformer Cuphead, which is finally now live for Xbox One and PC gamers after it feels like a very, very long wait, mostly because we've all been really excited for it. Even though it's got people already throwing controllers in anger, my fingers were getting crampy with frustration just playing. It's still clocking in at a respectable 85 on Metacritic, plus an 86 on OpenCritic. Why? Because it's supposed to make your fingers cramp with frustration. What reviewers really seem to love is that it pulls no punches with the difficulty, but still never feels impossible or cheap. It feels like you just suck. One potentially bad spot some reviewers did mention though is that the game sometimes runs into bugs. Games Radar said in its 5 out of 5 review of the game, a potent cocktail of authentic 1930s aesthetics, jazzy tunes, ingenious boss designs, and gameplay founded on the fundamentals inherent to the best 2D shooters. Cuphead sure is swell. It really is. Even though I'm bad at it, I never feel like it's the game's fault. I just hate myself. Dead Rising 4 is getting several improvements that fans have long been requesting. Capcom announced recently that a forthcoming update will bring several improvements to the game. One involves the game's human enemies, known as maniacs, who will get improved AI, and minions who will also attack you. Yay! They'll also have new weapons, which you get as a reward for killing them. There are also 6 new side missions called Distress Calls. Other tweaks, according to Capcom Vancouver, will include improved controller responsiveness, faster attack speed, faster zombie horde awareness, more aggressive pursuit, rebalanced weapon distribution, improved zombie AI, mission tuning, and more. That whole crazy beefy update will be released on December 5th, the same day as the game releases for the PlayStation 4 in a version that will include all the game's current DLC and a new mode called Capcom Heroes. Now, we've been reporting that Stephen King's It has been doing pretty big time business at the box office. It's doing alright, lots of people watching it, being scared. Balloons are now a freaky thing, which I never expected when I was a kid. Anyway, it recently passed another major threshold. The movie's now made more than $500 million worldwide. It's officially the top grossing horror movie of all time. The previous record holder was The Exorcist, which made $441 million. Not bad for a movie that came out 44 years ago and has held the record ever since. We don't have a number that's adjusted for inflation, so in that scenario, Exorcist might still come out on top. Regardless, this is very, very impressive, and it hasn't even come out yet in some pretty big markets like Japan, Germany, and Italy. So expect that box office total to keep on rising. The movie's been so popular that some professional clowns say they're actually losing jobs because now everyone's scared of them. Which is sad. Now they're sad clowns, and a sequel to it has already been announced for 2019. We seem to be living in a golden age when it comes to nerd culture and might be getting even better. Amazon recently announced that it's developing projects around some crazy awesome sci-fi classics. I'm so excited about this. So Deadline is reporting that Amazon Prime is developing 3 different drama series based around the classic sci-fi novels Ringworld and Snow Crash, as well as the comic book Lazarus. So yeah, I'm so excited. The streaming service is reportedly looking for the next big show along the lines of Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead. Ringworld is being produced with MGM and is based on Larry Niven's science fiction books from the 70s. Meanwhile, Snow Crash is being produced with Paramount TV and will be a drama based on Neil Stephenson's classic cyberpunk novel. Seriously, it's great. If you haven't read it, please do. So yeah, we'll see some pretty cool stuff. We'll see how all of them shake out, but man, clearly everyone is on the hunt for the next Game of Thrones now that that one's about wrapping up, which is, I think, kind of what HBO is hoping that Westworld will be. We'll see. Either way, if they're all trying to make the next big awesome show, we win. We've got some news about The Last Jedi. No, it's not the trailer, don't get your hopes up. That is coming in a couple weeks, but we do know how long the movie will be, so that's exciting. According to the Star Wars Legacy Twitter account, the movie is going to clock in at 150 minutes. That's a lot. That would make it the longest Star Wars movie yet, surpassing Attack of the Clones, which, believe it or not, was 142 minutes. For more recent comparisons, Rogue One was 133 minutes, and The Force Awakens was 135 minutes. I guess I never realized that they're all over 2 hours. But hey, more Star Wars, so really no complaints from us as long as they need every single one of those minutes to keep the pacing up. The Last Jedi hits theaters December 15th. Rumor has it that we might be getting that trailer we're all waiting for October 9th, so stay tuned for that. We'll see. I hope it's good. Now, if you thought pro sports were bad when it comes to cheating, especially those crazy cyclists who can be all kinds of wicked, they've got nothing on RuneScape. There was an old school RuneScape tournament last weekend with the winner getting $20,000 in prize money. And even though the tournament's been over for days now, a winner still hasn't been determined because there was just too much cheating. A player named 5+50K12 was initially named the winner, but then came a bunch of cheating accusations, like running bot farms, DDoSing other players, that kind of thing. 5+50K12 was eventually disqualified. Now nobody knows what to do with the prize money. Some have suggested donating it to charity, maybe splitting it among the remaining finalists. One silver lining though, a secondary $10,000 prize has been donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Here's a wish. Stop cheating, it's a tournament. What good is a tournament where you're cheating? Sportsmanship. All right, that's the news we have for this roundup. Let us know what you think of all these stories in the comments down below. To make sure you get news from every corner of the internet every single weekday, like this video. If you're new around here, subscribe to the know, and have a great weekend. Thanks to Quid for sponsoring this update. Quid's a new app that's just launched. It's a lot of fun for the collecting community. You can start collecting stickers and cards and Funko Pop figures for free on your phone and start showing them off by attaching stickers to your messages, or just generally have fun with it. They've got thousands of stickers you can collect, use, and trade across a bunch of shows and games and movies you already know. Game of Thrones, Rick and Morty, Firefly, Star Trek, Fallout, Adventure Time. They just launched a Marvel collection, and if you don't get what you want in the packs, you can just trade other users via the app to complete your collection. You can see some of mine in the demo here. I particularly like Firefly and Game of Thrones, so those are the ones that I've been collecting the most. But they release new stickers and cards and figures every day that you can collect for free and start using. They make it easy to use too. You can add Quid as a keyboard in your phone settings to make it super easy to pull up every time, or in iMessage, just tap the App Store icon. You'll find all your stickers under the Quid icon. It's free for iOS and Android, so if you want to check it out and get some stuff to spruce up your messages, why not? It doesn't cost you anything. Just click the link in the description to download it.